And the age of disco and flares is alive once again in Oxford. Hallelujah, I hear you say, and you're quite right to say it as well. The City's Museum is about to launch an exhibition of the 1970s. Tom McCulloch from the museum tells BBC Oxford's Paul Jenner about the fads of the decade. Here he is.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thunderbirds are go.
I think this was maybe the beginnings of a consumerism that we recognise in the 21st century. I mean, kids were starting to get some pocket money. Toy companies and marketing companies were kind of latching onto that. So you get this great explosion of toys and products directed at children. Thunderbirds was still ongoing.
And things, say, from TV shows, so you take the Wombles, for example?
Absolutely, there's the Wombles there, lots of Bagpuss merchandise as well.
Underground, overground, wombling free, the Wombles of Wimbledon, common are we.
And various other things beginning, like got early video games here as well as the standard action figures of the day, Star Wars, later on in the decade.
Let's move over to a display cabinet with a whole range of different annuals, Blue Peter, the Osmonds, toys we've already mentioned, Star Wars too?
Star Wars, yeah, I mean, it was released in the later 70s, 79, 77 I think it was. And of course, I mean, that just became a cult phenomenon and remains so to this day. So you can see the beginnings of all that merchandising, Star Wars novels, figurines, etc. But also a reflection of the wider range of television at the time. We've got the Jim'll Fix It annual.
Your letter was only the start of it. One letter, and now you're apart.
Blue Peter, and even groups such as the Bay City Rollers and the Osmonds had their own annuals as well, which you can see in the exhibition here.
I'm just looking at some of the artefacts. You have a yellow globe radio. As you say, the very bright colours that were evident in the 70s. Even though it was in the 70s, that would probably sell now, wouldn't it?
It would stand up pretty well, I think. Yeah, I mean, there's been a bit of a fad and a craze for nostalgia, as you say, over the last few years. I mean, we had it a few years ago with lava lamps, which were hugely popular in the 1970s, and all of a sudden people wanted them again. I mean, it's that kind of space age feel that the 70s was kind of a sci-fi decade in lots of ways, perhaps influenced by the likes of Star Wars and the Star Trek movies coming along as well.
On your last trip, did you discover what the Earth people eat?
Is there any food? I know you've got food on the wall here.
We've got Cadbury's snack soup, the classic Angel Delight, which it's a guilty pleasure. Still have some myself every now and again. It's memories of childhood.
For mash, get smash.
A decade to remember?
For us, yeah. But then we've remembered every other decade since. We're not at the stage where we're forgetting decades yet, but I'm sure that'll happen.
Well, that's great. Brought back some memories, didn't it? The exhibition's on from the 23rd of May. That's tomorrow.